Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ireland in his visit to Cairo. Our bilateral relationships are robust and we have strong friendship ties, and we always look forward to the advancement of our relationships. And also we hail all the preliminary situations taken by Ireland in support to the Palestinian cause, as well as their understanding of many of the issues within the Arab world, and their support to the humanitarian international law and the principles of international law, as well as the UN Charter. And this is very usual by the island, and we are thankful to His Excellency for this. Our talks today focused on the developments in Gaza. It is another occasion to reiterate the full fire cessation and to allow access for the humanitarian aid. The future prospects are associated with the two-state solution. Still, there are some harm and sufferings inflicted to the people to the population in Gaza, and they are all in violation to the humanitarian international law. We have massive civilians who lost their lives, and more than 12,000, and half of them, or maybe more, are from children and our children and women. This is insupportable humanitarian situation, and there must be an immediate action, and this military ceasefire must be stopped, because given the number of the casualties, any policies aimed at the liquidation of the Palestinian cause as per the displacement of the people. This is another enormous violation to the international humanitarian law. Egypt absolutely rejects and categorically rejects the liquidation of the Palestinian cause, and also this cannot be on the account of the neighboring state. This is categorically rejected. We spare no effort to provide our brothers in Gaza with the necessary needs and goods. Rafah crossing is open before the eruption of this crisis, and maybe before that. So all the calls for opening the crossing cannot be qualified as but they don't reflect the situation on the ground. The political status mustn't be associated with the humanitarian situation in Gaza. So the access of the aids hinges upon the situation in Israel. It is the occupier, and we have to look into the measures, and we have to look into their checking of the humanitarian aid and the tracks that enter into Gaza. The crossing is border 24/7, and also the personnel from the Ministry of Interior and other streamline ministries or agencies are available there. And also everything hinges upon the reaction or the response from the occupation authorities. The tracks wait for overstated timelines, and also they wait for longer times to be allowed to get into the Gaza Strip. The international community must exert due efforts to allow the access of such trucks and not to be hampered. And Egypt mustn't be by all means blamed for this. The responsibility shouldn't be shouldered to Egypt. Once again, we underscore that it is essential to cease fire, and also we had a two-state solution is the sole means for the resolution of for solving the crisis. We have for 3-decade-long negotiations, so we don't want to get into a vicious circle of negotiations. Yet, the international community must adopt this and implement this view and put it into action. We also tackled the bilateral relations, and there is a political will and consensus over different domains in which we could advance our cooperation in favor of the two countries. Ireland is one of the active actors in the European Union. Egypt also has other ties with the European Union, and there are joint programs, and we look forward to Ireland, given its position and status and its understanding of the situation in Egypt and the entire region. So Ireland's role is very pivotal in support of us before the European Union. We have to put into effect and activate our dialogue, and we are keen on regular dialogue, and we have to explore further areas of cooperation. We extend our thanks to Ireland for its supportive situation to the region, and also reinforces security and peace within the region. And also we have a good base, a strong foundation of bilateral ties. And this is something we are proud of, and we look forward to its advancement. Thank you so much, and I give the floor to His Excellency, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. شكرا جزيلا، وأود أن أشكر وزير الخارجية سامح شكري لاستضافتي اليوم في القاهرة. الموقف في غزة في الواقع متفاقم في ظل الأزمة الإنسانية. أننا بحاجة ملحة إلى وقف إطلاق النار من أجل الوضع الإنساني، وأن نكفل أن المساعدات تصل إلى من يحتاجونها. إذن فإن القانون لابد وأن يكون لزاما على كل الدول الفاعلة والجهات الأخرى من غير الدول الفاعلة أن تلتزم بمبادئ القانون الدولي الإنساني. وأشكر مصر والسيد وزير الخارجية لاستجابته لهذه الأزمة. هذه الأزمة في الواقع متواجدة منذ سنوات، وأنني أقدر أن مصر هي صوت مهم في المنطقة، وأنها تدعو إلى عدم التصعيد والعمل مع الشركاء في المنطقة كي تكفل أن هذا العنف لن ينتشر. السيد سامح شكري وأنا كذلك ناقشنا تدفق المساعدات الإنسانية إلى غزة. دون شك بأننا بحاجة إلى زيادة كبيرة في المساعدات للوفاء أو بالوضع الإنساني المتفاقم في غزة مع تكشف هذه الكارثة أمامنا، وأن هذا لابد وأن يحدث سريعا وبصورة ملحة. لهذا السبب أننا قد دعونا مرات عديدة إلى وقف إطلاق نار إنسانية. كذلك فإننا تحدثنا عن المواطنين الذين يسعون إلى مغادرة غزة، وأن كذلك تحدثنا وكذلك العبور عبر معبر رفح. كما تحدثنا فإن العديد من المواطنين قد عبروا من خلال معبر رفح، وأنني أشكر السيد سامح شكري على تيسير هذا الأمر لعبور هؤلاء المواطنين وهذا التعاون في هذا الصدد، وأننا سوف نواصل الجهد والعمل دون كلل في لحل هذه الأزمة. وكذلك وتستقبل مصر هؤلاء من يريدون المغادرة من غزة. فيما يخص إيميلي هاند، عقب اجتماعي بالأمس مع والدها توم هاند، فإيميلي في الحقيقة هي في مواطنة أيرلندية وكانت من أحد الرهائن في غزة واختطفت يوم 7 أكتوبر. يمكن أن نتخيل الصدمة الكبيرة التي تتعرض إليها هذه الطفلة، وأن كما نعرف فإن كل الرهائن لابد أن يتم إطلاق سراحهم، ولا سيما الأطفال لابد من إعطاء أولوية لإطلاق سراح الأطفال. وأنني أقدر كذلك العمل الذي قمتم به في خاصة إذا هذه الحالة، والحقيقة والأسلوب الذي أكدت عليه سيادتك فيما يخص هذه الحالة وإثارة موضوعية من خلال مختلف القنوات، والأولوية التي أعطيتموها لهذه الحالة هو أمر نشكركم عليه، وسوف نبقى على اتصالات وثيقة فيما يخص هذه المسألة. أن أيرلندا تدعم الشعب الفلسطيني وتطلعاتهم المشروعة لإنشاء دولة بشكل حاسم، وأن كذلك نرى أن حل الدولتين هو الذي يقدم مستقبلا دائما، وكذلك يعمل على إحلال السلام في الوقت الحالي. المجتمع الدولي ومع شركائنا الإقليميين لابد من مضاعفة جهودهم من أجل تلك الآفاق السياسية في المستقبل، وهي حل الدولتين. لدينا علاقات قوية مع مصر ونقدر هذه العلاقات الوطيدة، وسوف كذلك نعمل على الدفع وتقوية هذه العلاقات الثنائية خاصة في سياق الاتحاد الأوروبي. ونتطلع كذلك إلى تعزيز الحوار مع زملائنا في الاتحاد الأوروبي ومعكم في الفترة القادمة، لأننا كلنا يجب أن نعمل على حل هذا الأمر في سياق هذه الحرب وهذا الصراع، من أجل إنشاء مسار للخروج من هذا الصراع من أجل مواطني المنطقة، وبخاصة المواطنين الفلسطينيين وكذلك المواطنين الإسرائيليين. وفي النهاية يجب أن نكفل أن الشعوب تعيش في انسجام وتتعايش بسلام مع بعضها البعض، ولابد أن نكفل وقف مثل هذه الويلات الرهيبة للحروب. Two questions for each minister. One question to Excellency Minister of Ireland from our team. أننا نعلم أن عدد من المواطنين الأيرلنديين قد عبروا معبر رفح. هل هناك تفاصيل عن عددهم وحالتهم وكذلك كيفية تحقيق هذا والاتفاق مع السلطات المصرية؟ أولا، ليس لدي عدد دقيق حتى يتم وصول الجميع إلى جميع الرهائن أو المواطنين الأيرلنديين على العبور. هو رقم كبير وأننا وهذا رقم سيتزايد، وأننا يجب أن نعمل من خلال فريق عمل أو قوة عمل، والسلطات الإسرائيلية هي كذلك تعمل إذا هذه المسألة، والسلطات المصرية كذلك والوزير ييسرون أو يعملون على تسهيل هذا الأمر، ويضعون أسماء المواطنين الأيرلنديين على قائمة المغادرين. وسوف يكون لدينا فريق للعمل على الأرض في غزة، وسيتم نقلهم إلى القاهرة، وكذلك نتحقق من حالتهم الصحية الجيدة، وسنوفر لهم أي خدمات، وأننا سوف نيسر هذا الأمر من المنظور الأيرلندي، ولكننا نقدر القنوات المفتوحة منذ البداية، وفيما يخص المساعدة والمبادرة باتخاذ الإجراءات ودور مصر في تيسير عبور هؤلاء أو نقل هؤلاء. أننا نتفهم بالطبع أن بالتوازي مع هذا هناك ضرورة ملحة لدخول المساعدات إلى غزة، وكذلك تيسير تدفقات أو كميات كبيرة من المساعدات الإنسانية إلى الداخل في غزة. مس إيمان عارف from الأهرام newspaper. The floor is yours, the microphone. During your today's discussions, have you touched upon the European Union position or towards the crisis? And especially, we noted that there is an escalation of the Egyptian tone regarding the international position from the situation in Gaza. We addressed the Gaza issue and in a comprehensive manner, and we expressed our stance and our prediction that the statements, not only from the European Union states, but in general from all the statements coming from the international community, must be in line and in alignment with the principles of the humanitarian international law, and in consistency with the developments and the actions and the impacts that are seen by everyone. This must be defined as much as in similar situations where the international community and the EU states were robustly upholding the principles, and they took firm stances against what they envisaged to be a violation to the humanitarian law. In Gaza cause or in Gaza case, we don't see similar response or the similar reaction from the international community. That's what we have pointed to, and that's what also reflected within the final communique by the Arab State Summit. In such a crisis, this makes the mutual or this and the bilateral cooperation susceptible to jeopardize, and it would have adverse effects on our ability for action and for addressing issues in a manner that would reinforce the international law and humanitarian international law. These are all associated with political considerations, while they cannot be relied upon in all international cases. And this couldn't be a sound norm or a sound criteria for which upon which we build our stances or take actions. So Ireland plays a pivotal role for the enhancement of the humanitarian international law as well as international law. It is a state of credibility. It has its own well-known credibility, and once again I would like to extend my thanks to His Excellency the Minister of Affairs in Ireland for this stance. في البداية أود أن أقول أنه من المعلوم أن هناك معايير مختلفة في الرأي وخاصة في الاتحاد الأوروبي
especially in the European Union with regards to the Israeli-Palestinian issue, and this is up till this moment
إلى أنه لابد وأن يكون
but
هناك
there
تصريح
must be
موحدا
one
وأن هناك
declaration
حاجة إلى موقف
and one
إنساني
stance
موحد
regarding
هذا
the
الصراع.
humanitarian
وفي
situation.
سياق
And in this regard, the decision of the United Nations regarding the situation of the Arab conflict with regards to voting regarding this decision or decree. Foreign Minister Shoukry is clear with regards to this. There must be a way to apply standards with regards to the independence of states. In Ireland, we took a stance that goes with other opinions as the Ukrainian-Russian war. With regards to these issues, it's not difficult, it's not easy, but this is a challenge, and the aim is to work together in order to reach one unified stance. We have to remember that this stance has to be fair and just. A lot of humanitarian aid at the European Union has been delivered also to the people in Gaza. We have to work until we reach a solution regarding these crises. We have a correspondent from Irish Independent. Minister Shoukry was clear regarding ending violence in Palestine and requesting ceasefire, humanitarian ceasefire. Are you going to push forward for ceasefire in the European Union? And regarding the current stance, with regards to us, Ireland have asked for a humanitarian ceasefire. We want this violence to end, and we announced this. There shouldn't be martyrs and victims, and especially a large number of children, a large number of citizens are dying as a result of this violence. We have to end this war. This war has to end as soon as possible. Ending this war as soon as possible is better for all parties. We will try to use the humanitarian ceasefire in order to stop this violence. We have to permit the humanitarian aid to enter Gaza and provide all medical equipment, all necessary medications and drugs. We have to help in delivering this to the people in Gaza. We need humanitarian ceasefire. We need to support them. We have to provide all medications until we reach a ceasefire. I would like to thank Foreign Minister Shoukry for his efforts regarding this crisis. We appreciate all parties whom we spoke with, including Minister Shoukry. and we assure Minister Shoukry on the significance of providing people in Gaza with humanitarian aid and all what they need. We appreciate all the efforts done by the medical team in Gaza. We would like to express our condolences to around 110 of the people working at the United Nations in Gaza who were trying to provide this number lost their lives from the United Nations in their work trying to give support to the people in Gaza. We would like to express our condolences to these people from the families of these people from the United Nations who lost their lives. And we have correspondent from Al Ahram newspaper.
The Arab Summit or the OIC Summit in Saudi Arabia, and also how we could put into effect the statement or the ceasefire and the accountability of Israel. This must be the accountability of Israel must come within UN framework, and it has to be in a line with the demands that would be made by the Palestinian Authority if it calls for that. For the ceasefire, so the Arab and Islamic states are in consultation through their focal points, including Egypt, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Jordan, and Indonesia, in order to put into effect the resolutions. There is this team will be assigned with a task in order to see or to probe how to implement the decisions issued by the summit, and it will be seriously engaged in addressing the adverse impacts of this conflict in protection of the Palestinian people and of its legitimate rights as well as its aspirations. We shouldn't remiss, despite this crisis has started on October 7, the occupation still exists in the Palestinian territories. Half of a century of sufferings for the Palestinian people. We have to work for bringing peace and security to the region, and the establishment of Palestinian statehood as per 67 borders or lines, and Jerusalem is as its capital, as well as to maintain the inalienable rights for the Palestinian people in order to exist peacefully with the Israeli people, and the entire region would enjoy peace, and we would have normal relationships among all of its population. This cannot be attained without giving observance to the legitimate rights and aspirations of the Palestinian people. As His Excellency has just stated, the conflict could come to an end, but we wouldn't ensure sustainable end of this or a durable end of this conflict unless we accept the two-state resolution. I hope that we shouldn't only turn our sight from the current conflict. It is inconceivable that we remain in vicious circle, and without the international community call for the implementation of all resolutions and other entities for their decisions. So the international community hasn't taken any action towards the implementation of these decisions. It is high time for the international community to take action. Thank you.